Today's lesson is going to be an excerpt from one of the lessons inside the Queen Anne Rose course. It's a new course that I started offering in April with a core bunch of people, and we're working through it. I've only got a few more lessons to post, and it's going to be available to the public. So if you're curious, here's a taste of the Queen Anne Rose. And to learn how to join this course, stay tuned to the end, and I'll let you know. Now it's time to hook the rosebud, and I want to add a detail with some little flowers, little sepals from the bottom going up onto the flower. The first one I'm going to put inside the flower. The next one I'm going to put on the right-hand side is going to go slightly outside the flower, right? Because we're not actually looking at this necessarily point on. And the one in the middle, I'm going to thicken it up a little bit at the bottom with a double row and have it come right up the center. Then after that, I'm going to do the little spiral on the top. Now I'm going to have to simplify that a little bit, similarly to what I did before. I'm using my cut strip to kind of check it so that I know about where I need to go. And I'm going to hook right on the line for this part, but as I get to the upper edge, I'm going to be well within. See how you can still see that black line along the outside edge? That tells you that you're in close enough. So I'm going to come all the way around and ignoring the actual pattern, just make a little curly Q there. Then for contrast, I'm going to put my darkest neutral that I used in the rose, and I'm going to fill up that space inside that spiral, turning the loops as I need to make them skinny, or doubling them up as I need to make them thicker. Next, I'm going to hook the body of the rosebud. And that rosebud is going to be hooked with the striped medium color that I used for my rose. But first, I'm going to get a little background in, because that white, we really can't see it until we get some background around it. So I'm going to get some background in right away so that I can actually see what that looks like. So next, I think, I'm finally going to be filling in the actual rose. I'm going to start down in the little pointy areas. I'm going to turn my tail sideways, turn the first loop sideways, and then come out. I'm being very careful not to hook rows. In fact, you'll see it here where I'll go all the way up to the base of the flower and then follow it around and then turn around and come down the other side. I want to avoid making stripes on the rose. Remember, this is something very organic, and I want these loops to kind of turn and twist and go wherever they need to. So again, another tight space. Turn that tail in sideways, turn the loop in sideways, straighten it out, and then fill up that area by sort of wiggling around in there and getting it all filled up. By adding those extra loops, it's going to help the sepals to stay where they need to go. Look how pretty they are right now. Isn't that pretty? Then I'm going to come in and put some background around it, because you want to get background in as soon as you can. In some cases, you can do background as your second strip of wool. But in this case, I definitely wanted to get it in right away. Now with a little bit of trimming, notice I do one at a time, not a whole lot. I can hook a little bit more background down in this area just to define that rosebud a little bit further. Now the method I'm using for the background is one row of black around everything, and then the rest of the background is a mix of different kinds of browns. Browns that lean towards red, toward green, toward blue. Every brown is invited. I didn't originally intend to make this a full-on beginner course, to sort of evolve that way. As one question came up or another, I realized that I did not have in my list of courses the fundamental beginner project, and that's what this has become. And while this is specifically designed for beginners, I've heard from many rug hookers who have hooked for a long time to say that they learned something in the course too. So it's not just a beginner project. It's a project for whoever wants to get better at rug hooking. It's a simple project. It's easy to hook. It doesn't take that long. The pattern's inexpensive. It doesn't take that much wool. And I'll cover all of that inside the course, from how to make sure your pattern's square. Although, spoiler alert, it will be square because it comes from Spruce Ridge Studios, the company that draws my patterns for me, and they're the best in the business. Then how to color plan, how to choose your wools, how much you're going to need. Not much, there's a hint. And then how to hook it, what cut size to use, what direction to go, what do you hook first, what do you hook second. I'm going to work through all of that with you in the course. And if I've missed something and you have a question and you're going through the course, be sure to let me know, and I'll add that information to the course. How to buy it is right below this video in the show notes. Click on that link, and if it's not quite yet ready for public, fill in the wait list, and as soon as it's ready, I'll be sending you an email and you can join us and start hooking that today. While you're waiting for your pattern to arrive, you might want to click on this video. There's lots of stuff to discover on my YouTube channel, and even more inside my courses and membership at howtorughhook.com. Check it out. You might want to click out this video. Yeah, click out it.